Hello everybody and welcome back to the Nights into Dreams playthrough. It's time to continue on with Claris's story. And we are going to go into the Soft Museum, which is going to be incredibly confusing, as, you know, the name suggests. And the reason it's going to be confusing is because we're going to be faced with mirrors, all sorts of topsy-turvy things. It's going to be absolutely bizarre. Now, what I'm going to do here, just because I really like this music track, I'm just going to go into some of the song names that we've heard so far in this playthrough. So we had Spring Valley, music of which was Paternal Horn, which is a little bit of an odd title. Mystic Forest, we had Gloom of the NHC. And Soft Museum's musical track is called Suburban Museum, which is slightly odd, but either way. And then when we fought Gilwing, the music was The Dragon Gave a Loud Scream. And for Gulpo, which was the name of that fish thing that we faced, the music is Deep It Lies. And that is basically your lot for now. Yeah, in the long run, I probably well, this is just me comparing both Claris's and Elliot's stories, but I think I actually prefer Claris's levels in the long run. Like, there's one of Elliot's which I really like, which is Frozen Bell, but then his final level is Stick Canyon, and I'm not really a fan of that. So on the whole, Claris is the way to go, at least in my opinion. Which is actually a surprisingly nice contrast to the fact of I really wasn't a fan of Helen in Journey of Dreams, but I really liked Will. So, God knows. Now, if you are slightly confused as to what the hell's going on plot-wise in Nights, don't worry, it's not necessarily made really that clear in the game, because pretty much most of the information is there in the manual. In Nights into Dreams HD, there is a kind of digital manual that you can have a look at, but outside of that, this game is relatively plot light. Which, I mean, is fine because the entire point is dreaming and the beauty of dreams, and they don't necessarily always have to make that much sense. But essentially what happens is that every night all humans' dreams are played out in Nightopia and Nightmare, which are the two parts of the dream world. In Nightopia, distinct aspects of dreamers' personalities are represented by luminous coloured spheres known as idea, which obviously gets the whole name from idea, essentially. However, the evil ruler of Nightmare, Wizeman the Wicked, is stealing this dream energy from sleeping visitors in order to gather power and take control of Nightopia, and eventually the real world. To achieve this, he creates 5 beings called Nightmaren, jester-like, flight-capable beings, which include Jackal, Claws, two bosses we haven't faced yet, Gulpo, Gilwing, and Puffy, who's another enemy we haven't faced yet, as well as many minor Nightmaren. In addition, he creates 2 level 1 Nightmaren, Knights and Riala. However, Knights rebels against Wizeman's plans, and is punished by being imprisoned inside an Idea Palace, a gazebo-like container for Dreamer's Idea. So that's the general setting. The plot on Claris's side, at least, is that she really wants to... Well, she's a talented singer and really wants to perform on stage. And she wants to audition for a part in the events commemorating the centenary of the city of Twin Seeds. but upon standing in front of the judges, she's overcome with stage fright, doesn't perform well, and she loses her hopes of getting the role. Then that night she goes to sleep, and she suffers a nightmare that replays the events on stage, but then escapes into Nightopia and finds that she possesses the rare red idea of courage, the only type that Wizeman can't steal. So then they kind of meet Knight, and then it's trying to kind of re-find all of their idea. Which is alright, really. Nothing too complex, but the fact that there's so many terms to understand gets a little bit much, I suppose. Because you've got Nightmare and Nightmare... Oh, this is Jackal, if you were wondering. So Nightmare and Nightmare... Mare... Idea Capture, Idea Palace, Knights in the particular kind of visualization that they went with for it, with the capital NiGHTS but lowercase I, which is an odd way of spelling it, but it looks quite cool, so I'm down with that. And yeah, so while the plot of Knights is rather simple, getting your head around it can be a little bit of a challenge. Now I have to say, I really do like the fight with the Jackal here, because one, it's rather simple, but also it's the one that makes the most sense of pretty much all of Claris's boss fights anyway. Because while Gilwing was kind of destroy the tail, it wasn't necessarily quite clear how you meant to do that. With Gulpo, you're sort of just meant to, I think, ram into him, but it's not quite clear how that all works. With Jackal, it all makes sense. It's you hit him once his cape flies off, and then you hit him multiple times until he's dead, basically. So that just kind of makes a lot more sense, and is just more user-friendly, I suppose. But now we are actually already at Claris's final level, which is Twin Seeds. It's a lovely level, and easily my favourite one in... well, it's my most favourite in the game, because you have the absolutely wonderful piece of music, which is Growing Wings. And just... While you don't have a power loop at this moment in time, there's just something so euphoric about this level that any frustrations that I do have with Into Dreams just sort of begin to melt away, really. And before I kind of move any further away from like Jackal, his musical track was called The Mantle. But now back to Twin Seeds. Basically, the entire principle of this level is that like Claris has overcome her fears and she's just rocking it, basically. And, I mean, I think part of the reason why I like this stage so much is that it's very, very easy to get the blue chips, to rack up points, and so it's very easy to get an A rank. It just works. Whereas, like, a lot of the other stages in the game suffer, I suppose, from the fact of, the camera angle, because you're very zoomed in on everything, so sometimes it's difficult to know where the rings are, where the blue chips are, and sometimes it's very easy to miss them, so you end up doing far more loops than is actually necessary. Whereas Twin Seeds just sort of... it's at a perfect distance, really. You are never going to miss rings because you can't see them, essentially. And also, I think it's just the combination of everything in this level just works, for me anyway. But there we go, that is Twin Seeds done, and oh, it's just wonderful to have this A rank. Now, I will point out that this run of Twin Seeds is actually my second for Claris's, because I wanted to ensure that I got the true ending for Claris, because otherwise I would have just been doing Claris's level again, and that just didn't really work in my mind. So this is kind of like the last run against Wizeman, which is this fella here, that I did, and he is our final boss. Basically, you just avoid the things he throws at you, wait until Elliot catches up with us, and then we drill dash into him, and it's just wonderful. We have the rather ominous piece of music, which is the Force Master, and I really like this as a final boss. It's really cool. You've got all the different elements. There is an element of challenge to it, and really it's just cool. Now, the way of getting through this is to drill dash through the gap. No other way is going to get you through that, just fair warning. But there we go, Wizeman is defeated. And we got the max multiplier that we could get for that. So that is a well and truly perfect A rank, I should think. Yes, what you're now going to see is a little bit of a mishmash of editing to try and get the entire breadth of the ending into play, because this particular cutscene here is not present if you don't have C ranks on everything. It just goes straight into the ending, and also you wouldn't get the extra bit at the end. So that's all kind of been included, but then I'm going to use the first version of the credits that you would experience, because it's just necessary, really. I want you to see all the versions of the credits. I did it with Journey and Dream, so I'm doing it with this one as well. And there's that red idea of courage helping out. It's really, really helpful tool. And oh, this 1990s CGI. It's rather terrifying, but this is sort of a sweet moment, because Claris has succeeded in her dream and proving her talent to the director, and hopefully getting that part. And what's really odd is that Elliot features rather more prominently in the kind of true ending than Claris, but oh well. We'll get to seeing what Elliot's all about a little bit later. And by later I mean the next part. But oh well. And there we go, Claris' story is complete. And now we get to listen to the credits theme, which is called Dreams Dreams. This is the adolescent version, and well, let's just say that the less said about it, the better, because this is rather grating, shall we say. Because we've got kids singing, which would be okay, but this is if anything, this reminds me of the quality of my singing, like right at the start of when I did my YouTube channel, when my voice was breaking and just wasn't very good. It's grown since then, but this is just, oh, I'm just so glad that they mostly got kids that could sing for Journey of Dreams. I mean, that said, the girl who's singing Dreams Dreams here, which I believe is Jasmine Allen? Yes, Jasmine Allen. I believe that, well, basically, Jasmine Allen, who sings the song here, went on to sing Dreams Dreams Sweet Snow in Journey of Dreams, which is quite nice because obviously she's the voice of Claris, in massive quotation marks here, so for her to come back and sing it then is a really, really nice touch. So basically Jasmine Allen is the only artist to have sung the song in both games, and apparently she auditioned for the song here anyway by singing the alphabet and songs from Sesame Street. Cameron Struther, who I believe is the voice of Elliot in this game, auditioned for the song by singing Irving Berlin's White Christmas. Both children were living in Japan with their families at the time, and they recorded this version of the song in Tokyo with both their fathers present, which is rather nice. And apparently, the title of the song was slightly corrupted from the original title Dream Dream. According to the composer Tomoko Sasaki, the title refers to Elliot and Claris trying to put their joyous feelings from their adventures into words, which I think works quite effectively. It's a lovely song, and one of my favourites in video games. Just not this specific version, because it just no. And then at the end of the song, you have Dana Calitri and Curtis King Jr. doing the adult bits of the song. And basically they were session vocalists and were hired to record the adult version of the song in New York City. So Dreams Dreams is a song that was really built on both sides of the ocean. So you had a bit in Japan, a bit in America. Worked out rather well, mostly, I think. Now, you only get the kids' version of the credits if you beat the game with lower than a C rank in every single mission. So, essentially what that means is that if you don't have at least a C rank in every mission, you're not going to get kind of the original version of the song. You're going to get the kids' version. Obviously, the first time that you play through one of the stories, you're going to get the kids' version because you haven't even attempted the other side. So, it's just the way it goes. It's why this is here, really. And to be incredibly unsubtle, they just say, thank you for playing, try Elliot's stream. And that is exactly what we are going to be doing in the next part. Because I'm not going to leave this unfinished, you know?